Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to Benjamin's School of Hebrew, Unit 1. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to Benjamin's School of Hebrew, Unit 1, the Hebrew alphabet. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to Benjamin's School of Hebrew, Unit 1, the Hebrew alphabet, which is a very good place to start when learning the Hebrew language. You're not experiencing technical difficulties. I've included those special effects to spice things up a little, make it a little more interesting. Just my style of teaching here. So let's begin here with some basics. First of all, Hebrew is written from right to left. The Hebrew alphabet has 22 letters. That's 22 letters. The Hebrew alphabet has 22 letters. The first letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Aleph. The letter Aleph. Aleph. The letter Aleph is a silent letter. Aleph is silent. If you're wanting to make your own note cards, I would start by drawing a diagonal line and then make one just below the half mark like that, and then one on the other side down like that. And that'll give you a good approximation of what the Aleph looks like. You've learned your first Hebrew letter. Huzzah! Huzzah! You have learned the Aleph, which is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So let's press on to the next letter. The next letter in the Hebrew alphabet is Bet. The Hebrew letter Bet. This is the Hebrew letter Bet. The Hebrew letter Bet. The Hebrew letter Bet has the sound B, just like the letter B in English, B. The Hebrew letter Bet has the sound B. So congratulations, you have learned your second Hebrew letter, Bet. So the first two Hebrew letters are Aleph, Bet. Now if you're making your note cards, I would start with the bottom line for Bet, and I would make it about the same size as the Aleph when you're finished. And make a vertical line straight up, and then you complete the top part, and you put a little dot in the middle. Now notice at the bottom part here, where my pen is, there's a little overhang. So the Bet has a little overhang there on the bottom on the right, and if you're making up your note cards, that would be how you would draw that. Now I'd like to say a word here about the phonetic spelling of Hebrew words. And what I mean by that is instead of using Hebrew letters to spell a Hebrew word, we use the English alphabet and spell it phonetically the way that it would sound in English. So in the case of the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Bet, I've seen these three different spellings in different places. Technically speaking, this would be the only correct spelling of the letter Bet. This is the Hebrew word that spells out the letter Bet. Now don't worry that you haven't learned those other two Hebrew letters. This is just for illustration purposes to show that there is a way to spell it out in the Hebrew that's correct. The phonetic spelling in the English is only a tool. And that tool is for people who are not fluent in Hebrew. As we progress in our studies, you'll learn how to look directly at the Hebrew spelling of words. You'll be using the Hebrew alphabet. So let's press on to the third letter, the letter Gimel. The third letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the letter Gimel. This is what the Hebrew letter Gimel looks like. The third letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the Hebrew letter Gimel. The sound of the letter Gimel is G, as in the English G, G. The sound of the letter Gimel is like the letter G in English, G. Now if you're making your note cards for the letter Gimel, you would start similar to the Aleph, except maybe the line is slightly more vertical, and then you just connect the bottom, almost like a person running is what I see without the head, right? Stick figure without the arms and the head. Anyway, that's the Gimel. So we're going to conclude video number 2 with that. Just do a little review here at the end of what we've covered. Give me some feedback. Let me know how this is going for you. So here I've placed the first 3 Hebrew letters that we covered today side by side, the way they would look in the proper order from right to left. You have your Aleph, Bet, and Gimel side by side there. Also, to review the phonetic spelling of Hebrew words, use it as a tool. Don't feel bad about that. Everybody does it. But just remember, that's a tool. It's an English phonetic spelling. The goal eventually is to look at the actual Hebrew. Also remember that Hebrew is written from right to left. The opposite of English, it's always written from right to left. And the other thing we mentioned was the Hebrew alphabet has 22 letters. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Remember, this is the foundation that you're building upon here. So practice those 3 letters, review it, work hard, pay attention, and shalom shalom, which means literally peace, but it's used to say both hello and goodbye. So shalom shalom to you. I hope to see you in the next video.